It's that time of year again, by which I mean the first week of January is already over, meaning that everybody's already posted their New Year's resolution videos, and I'm just now making mine. But you know, that's just me, staying on brand. Anyway, it's time for New Year's resolutions. Gonna try to keep this a short video. After all, I gotta get to bed. So I'm just going to go real quick over last year's resolutions, how I did with those, and what I'm planning to do this year. So my first resolution was hashtag 12 months of trick. I wanted to post a picture of my hair every month, kind of showing my hair in its natural state without trying to hide any of the weird stuff that my trick does to it, and also sharing my experiences and different facts about the disorder, just to kind of raise awareness. And I would say I did pretty good. I ended up doing 10 pictures, because counting's weird and I'm weird. But I got a lot of positive response to that. A lot of good feedback from people, both those who've known me for a really long time and seen me dealing with this, and people who have just barely met me, who aren't used to that, and also gave me a chance to connect more with the other people that I know who also have trichotillomania. So that was an awesome experience. I don't have a new project like that for this year, but it was really fun just to kind of up my social activism online. My next goal was to read 30 books, with the caveat of making sure that 20 of those books I had already owned at the start of the year. As you can see, I have a lot of books, just finally got them all set up. I'm very excited, but I love buying books. I love buying new books, maybe even more than I like reading books. And last year, I just wanted to make sure that I didn't leave all the new books I'd bought the year before, that I just didn't leave them hanging around. And yeah, basically I did not reach that goal at all. By the end of the year, I had finished 26 titles, with exactly half of them, 13 of them being comic books. They're all right here. And those I definitely bought this past year. So that alone, I just completely, failed. But it's okay. Book reading goals for me, I don't stress about them because it's just an encouragement to get me to read more often than I might if I wasn't thinking about trying to reach a certain goal. But yeah, I'm totally fine with it. I also had the goal to have one of those books be the Book of Mormon, and yeah, no. But there's always next year, and by next year, I mean this year, foreshadowing to this year's resolutions. I also had the goal to make one video a month. I didn't reach that goal. I only ended up making 8 videos, and they were definitely clustered in the last third of the year. But again, I'm okay with that. That was just another number to kind of encourage me to just keep going. It was a really fun year for me and my videos. I allowed myself to do different things. I made some longer videos and didn't feel bad about that. Kind of allowed myself to go deeper into some emotional reactions I was having. I actually took a social media class in the fall, which inspired me to do kind of different and creative things with some of my videos. So it was a really fun year for me, just kind of exploring different things that I could do. And I think it set me up for a really good place for this year. I also had a resolution to figure out the best way for me to exercise personally, taking into account my health and my body and my schedule. And that one's just a big no, didn't do it. We are just plowing through all the failures, because my next goal was to listen to a new album every single week. Definitely didn't do that either. I did make an effort this past year to listen to more music, different music. I definitely ended up seeing the value of listening to new music, because there were some amazing songs that I wouldn't have found otherwise. Turns out I had way more resolutions last year than I thought I did. Probably tells you how well I did with them, but we're just chugging along. Keep going. My next goal was to go on a trip all by myself. Basically, I wanted to go on a trip that wasn't a family trip, I wanted to plan it and pay for it and do all that fun stuff. And that didn't happen last year, although I did start getting things ready for a trip that I'm going on next month. I'm going to NerdCon, Nerdfighteria, so excited, in Boston with my best friend Preeti at the end of February. And last year, I bought my plane ticket. I bought the ticket for the con. I started looking at, train schedules and where we're going to be staying. So I, made progress towards that. That counts. What was I thinking? My next goal was to pay off $1,000 of my student debt. Oh, like 400 to 600, somewhere in there. So, every penny counts. Finally, we've made it to my last resolution for 2016, which was to spend more time doing the things that I love. This takes me directly into my goals for this year because I did not do a good job of this last year. I definitely got sucked into doing lots of things which maybe even I liked and were beneficial in some way, but they just dragged me down and did not help me feel better about myself or the way my life was going or how I was spending my time. It being an election year probably has something to do with it, but I definitely could have spent my time in other ways. And this year, basically all my goals are focused on exactly that. I don't have a ton of resolutions this year, and as I'm thinking about it, a lot of them seem to be really objective, quantitative goals. And even though I'm a qualitative scientist, clearly these number-based goals are going to help me focus on these activities that I really truly love and will hopefully keep me from getting sucked into endless Twitter timelines or the next addicting app or just, staring at my wall. A lot of my goals are things that can help facilitate my happiness, like I want to get my passport, I want to finally finish setting up my room, I want to try to go to bed before midnight every single night. I definitely want to keep making videos, just going forward like I have. This year, I really want to try doing a vlogging project. I loved seeing everybody's vlogmases. That was so much fun, and I'm really thinking if I can prepare properly for it, I'm really interested in doing a vlog every day in April. I don't know, is it Beta, however it's pronounced. I'll actually be turning 22 this April, and I think it would be a really fun challenge kind of to tie in, maybe with my birthday, just to kind of push me into doing different things with my channel, making new videos, and being creative. This year, I really want to read 50 books, that's my goal, and watch 100 movies. And you're probably thinking, 50, but you didn't even get 30 last year. But I'd much rather read a really depressing sociology book than get super depressed by looking at my Twitter for hours every single day. To help me, I've got these adorable little moleskins that I found that I hadn't used, and I made, a little book journal and a little film journal for me to write every single one that I read or watch and kind of my feelings about it. I've already read one book this year and I've watched 3 movies, and it's just been so fun, writing about them. It actually encourages me to read and watch more just so I can write a tiny little page in here. So we'll see where I end up. It's all about joy, just doing things that I enjoy and that make me happy. I'm also going to read the Book of Mormon this year, I promise. This one honestly just came to me last night, but by the end of this year, I think I really want to try to set up an Etsy shop where I make these ridiculous hodgepodge Afghans. I've been working all break on crocheting this ginormous Afghan. It's nowhere near even being done. While I've been watching TV, while I've been catching up on my YouTube every day, I've just been chugging along at it, using up all my scraps that I've collected over the years. And it's so relaxing. It's therapeutic for me to just kind of use my hands and to make something physical, something tangible, and where I can see the progress that I've made. And I just realized last night that, I could do this in my spare time, while I'm relaxing, and also maybe make a little money from it. Really, I just love crocheting things for other people and being able to kind of put it out into the world. I'm looking to set things up maybe by summer and try to have a sale by the end of the year. I only have one more resolution. It's my one, abstract resolution. I want to start leaving parties when I feel like it, due to the fact that I'm very introverted and I also have anxiety. Going to parties can be very difficult for me. It is very stressful for me to be at parties or even just gatherings with groups of people, meetings, and I want to leave, but I have this oversized sense of FOMO. So I stay, and then I feel even more miserable than I felt before, and then by the time I get home, I am just an absolute mess. So this year, I'm really committed to, once I start feeling pretty bad, just taking stock of myself, how I'm feeling, and thinking, do I need to stay? Because if I'm with my friends, I've ruined enough of their parties that they recognize that I'd be better off going home. Nobody's gonna feel hurt if it's, a meeting with strangers, something for school or work. I recognize there's a time and a place where you have to do things you don't want to. But there are also so many times where you can get the information, talk to the people you need to, and then leave. I don't need to stick around listening to conversations between strangers, trying to figure out how I could somehow fit in when really I'm just making things harder for myself and for them, and everybody's having an awful time. So yeah, I am super, super committed to this. This is my big goal. I can't stress how important this is to me and how hard I'm gonna work this year. It's all about self-care. What are real resolutions, non-judgmental resolutions, if not a commitment to taking better care of yourself in the upcoming year? I think we spend so much time, or at least I know I certainly do, so much time taking care of other people, worrying about other people, feeling overwhelmed by all the horrible things that are going on in this world. And that makes us act out, or that makes us feel lazy, or it makes us feel unkind towards other people, unkind towards ourselves. And I think maybe if people took the new year as a time to kind of analyze themselves and the way that they're treating themselves, then they might be able to reach their exercise goals, or they might be able to be a better friend, or go on more dates, or whatever like these common goals are. That's my focus this year. It may sound self-centered, but again, you gotta take care of yourself before you can take care of anybody else. So that's what this year is about for me. It's about taking care of myself, improving myself, so I can be in a better position to help all the people I want to help and do all the great work I want to do. Let me know what your non-judgmental self-care resolutions are, and I'm so excited for this next year with y'all. I'll talk to you later. I don't know what that is.